Hello and welcome to the Big Bang Theory podcast. My name's John. I'm here with my friend and colleague, Dan.
Hello.
So, Dan, first game back after a long summer. I've just been looking at that wall and then here I am in the glorious green of St James Park.
Yeah.
What a relief to be back.
What wall are you talking about?
Hey?
Looking at what wall?
You know, living room, kitchen.
Oh, I see. Just
indoors.
Staring into space until the football's back.
I wish I was staring into space. I was just staring at, a bit of wood chip wallpaper.
Well, that performance was slightly better than staring at a wall, but not much.
Not much. So City beat Macclesfield 1-0 with a 90th minute winner.
And that's all that matters, really. So thanks for listening.
See you later.
Yeah.
Bad game.
Was a bad game.
Bad performance?
Especially bad first half. It wasn't... Yeah. In a way, it was a bad performance, but not a terrible one. And I think we were lucky we were playing against Macclesfield because there's not many teams we could play like that against and come away with 3 points, I would suggest.
That's a true fact. There was... No one could certainly get a shot that was going to test the keeper for City, and Macclesfield had a couple of chances.
Yeah, they did. We
got the goal. Ryan Bowman with the winner.
Yeah, a bit of luck. At the time, I remember thinking, at the time I thought, it's just hit him and gone in. But there is some sort of endeavour to move the ball in the direction of the goal. So I'm going to give him, with hindsight, more credit than I did at the time.
Was it a shot by Nicky Law?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Maybe the world's worst shot?
He was going out for a throw, so yeah.
I think it was heading for the Stansfield stand. It was going back on itself.
A beautiful mistake.
Beautiful mistake. So that was the game. Well, that was the final bit of the game. Up till that point, we did, like you said, we had a terrible first half.
Yeah.
Second half was better, or bits of the second half were certainly better.
Yeah.
Sol Campbell came dressed for snooker.
Yeah, he did.
Took a wrong turn at the Crucible.
Yeah. I mean...
He must have been boiling.
Yeah, and Matt Taylor had took a jumper on and a shirt and a tie, didn't he?
Come on, lads, it's still August.
Yeah, it's warm.
It was warm.
Yeah, Sol Campbell looking like a kind of Matalan Gareth Southgate.
He looked even more like a Matalan Gareth Southgate when the ball came in his direction and he made the movement to trap it and it went right over his head.
Loved it. That was the most enjoyable bit of the whole game.
I think it might well have been.
Yeah.
I'll say this about that game. Of course, Macclesfield beat us twice last year.
That's true, yeah. That's an improvement on last season already, isn't it,
If I was a stat man, you might call me Statman John, and they would say that's 3 points gained on the overall average of the season.
Yep.
So we'll take that.
No pictures on the score sheet.
Indeed. Apart from that, what else do we want to say? What was good about it?
What was good about it? Oh, it's hard to pick out too many things. Bowman's work rate, that's an obvious one.
Absolutely.
Lewis Ward's debut.
He was good, wasn't he?
He was
Ward
good.
In goal.
Yeah, like you can hear him shouting his head off from the big bank.
I mean, it was a terrible game, but he was actually good, wasn't he?
Yeah, and, a couple of those saves were, crucial.
Yeah.
I'd say there was probably three important ones. And the rest of the stuff he just controlled well and, commanded his area, got the things he should have got, didn't flap, kicked well.
The defenders stitched him up on several occasions with bad back passes.
And they put him under a lot of pressure.
Completely unnecessarily most of the time.
But that's, I think, because Macclesfield were putting us under so much pressure. They were really pressing us when we had the ball, especially those defenders, weren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
And I think a couple of times, obviously, a slightly nervy-looking... What's he called? Tom Parks?
Tom Parks,
yeah. He looked a bit nervy in his first game. I'm not going to hold it against him, but a couple of times they put Ward on the spot a bit, and he dealt with that very well.
Aaron Martin as well, a couple of those back passes. But yeah, Ward was great in those kind of kick-in things, and his distribution when he wasn't under pressure was really good.
Yeah, I remember saying last year about Pym was always reluctant to quickly roll the ball out to to the fullbacks or to whoever. He'd often sort of go to do it, but never really looked like he had any intention of doing it. Whereas Ward would play that pass if it was on, and he would make quick, confident decisions.
Yeah.
And I thought I was impressed with that and with him generally. So that's definitely one big positive from the game.
Yep, absolutely. Second positive, which is a sub-positive, is that Christy Pym, I feel bad for him, had a terrible game at Peterborough.
Oh, he let in...
Let in 3,
Yeah.
and they were slating him already.
Were they?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
So I feel sorry for Christy, but Lewis Ward, I think, actually genuinely is a step up from Pym.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'll bet unjudged on one game.
Judged
yeah.
on one game.
But yeah, we'll see. It's encouraging, and that's good. And like I said, Bowman worked hard. What else?
Oh, well, I'll tell you what I liked.
Go
I
on.
like this new rule, like walking off the side.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's a little bit sort of arresting, and you're like, hang on, what? Why is he over there?
So if you didn't see it, listeners, the rule previously, or the way it was done previously, I guess, was if you were substituted, you took as long as possible, if you were winning, to get off the pitch. You'd shake hands with your mates, with the other team, the referee,
Yeah.
slowly stroll off. Now you have to move as quickly as possible to the touchline that's closest to you.
Well, it's nice that they've done something about time wasting, but that's only one area, isn't it? And what can they do about a team? Fair enough to Macclesfield, who were going to settle for that one for that point, weren't
Yeah,
they? Quite
yeah.
clearly, from about 65 minutes on,
Yeah.
they were falling down every minute and getting the ref was stopping play and bringing on the physio. And was it that the keeper had cramp in both of his legs apparently after you just had like 2 months off,
Yeah.
holiday,
Nice sunny day.
and you only played not even a full game, and you're a keeper, and apparently you've got cramp in both your legs. So I'm not buying it.
I
That's a
thought
disgrace.
the rule was...
But
Go on.
I was saying at the time, it's annoying when a team's doing that against you, but when your team's doing it, you love it. We didn't do it. We went 1-0 up, and we didn't time waste after that.
No.
And I'm not saying we never do, because I'm sure we do sometimes. But I did like that we were just like, we weren't going to go like, oh, now we're just going to... I know there was 5 minutes on there, because we scored in the 89th, 90th minute,
Yeah.
and there was 5 minutes added on. We didn't use those 5 minutes to run down the clock, lay on the floor, pretend to be injured.
No.
And that was to protect 3 points.
Yeah.
So it would be even more fair enough if we had done that, but we didn't, and I liked it.
Me too. So that was... so I like this new thing of walking off the side anyway. I think you're right. I thought the rule was, if you had a head injury, referee's inclined to stop the game, but anything else, he's not. I thought that was the rule.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. But walking off the side of the pitch means you get to do a kind of victory lap.
It's strange, isn't it?
So Nicky Law did a full victory lap.
But then he didn't actually go off,
Oh no,
did
that's
he?
right, he
It was
didn't. Whoever it was that
one of
came
their
off, Williams,
players
and one of their players
yeah.
did the full victory lap. I like
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I totally milk that. If that was me,
Oh,
I'd
yeah,
go the long
totally.
way round.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, that was that.
Anyway,
so
you
I
did
liked
mention
that.
Williams. He was another... That's
He was
another
good.
positive, for sure.
He was really good, and I think he was man of the match, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And I think people really agreed with that. And do you know what? Sweeney, until about 70 minutes, was having a dreadful, dreadful game.
Yeah,
and we
well,
were all like,
let's tie that in with the Williams praise, because it's
Yeah, absolutely.
intrinsically linked, isn't it?
But then, some of the best balls down Williams' wing were Sweeney.
Yeah.
So he's
That's
a very
what's-
frustrating player.
It was frustrating, wasn't it? At times you just think like, oh my God, like, where's Kane Wilson? Like, where's anyone? We can't have this again. He hardly gets over the halfway line. His decision making is all over the place. It's sort of you can go from the sublime to the ridiculous. And what I mean by sublime, quite literally, that ball in for Tom Parks's header, which he missed, which is probably harder to miss than to score,
Yeah.
at the back post.
Yeah.
The ball in from Sweeney is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's such a good ball. And then
very
he
hit and
can
miss.
do that. He also set up the goal,
Yeah.
because he plays that ball into the channel for Law.
Yeah.
And fair enough, it bounces around a bit before it goes in off Bowman's ankle or whatever, but he still picked out that pass, Sweeney.
But then on other occasions, he'll put it in absolute rose edge
Yeah.
when he should be playing a simple 5-yard pass.
And what a waste it might be in those situations if you see how good Williams is. If he's going to be playing down that right-hand side in front of Sweeney,
Yeah.
then he's got to get good service if he's going to be able to do those things. And he looked like every single time he was a massive threat down there, at very least winning a corner, if not cutting them back in, picking out a teammate or whatever,
Fair play to Matt Taylor, because first half, one of the big flaws was Nicky Law and Moxie on the same side. This isn't Moxie's fault, but Law was just kind of missing quite often. Moxie had 2 to cover. Taylor changed it. Now, we want to talk about Ajosie a bit in a minute, I think, but the change of getting Martin on the wing, he's just a bit more inclined to defend. So
it seems to me like maybe Martin and Law seem to be kind of a bit more kind of fluid, moving between so sometimes Martin could move out to the left and Law could come inside and get on the ball a bit more, which everybody knows that we know we need to get Law on the ball in those central positions. Everybody knows it. It's almost become a cliche, of things to say. You could include it in an Exeter City bingo, but. Yeah, we look so much better, and credit to Matt Taylor because he made that call, and it won. Well, indirectly, it did win us the game because it was 0-0 when he did it. And then,
well, I wonder. I don't know. I mean, we predicted, didn't we, last week? We expected Macclesfield to be worse than they were, so maybe Taylor was having similar thoughts.
Although they weren't good.
They weren't good, but they were energetic.
Yeah, they pressed us a lot. They were energetic, and they had that one lad, number 20. I don't know his name, but he looked.
Yeah.
Lively.
So maybe Taylor was thinking that Law would have more space than he did. But anyway, he changed it around. I thought Taylor was really good. He made some really important tackles. He took one of their players out about 20 minutes in, which was a really vital foul.
Yeah, and he didn't get booked for it.
Didn't get booked for it, remarkably.
Unbelievable.
But that's exactly the kind of old Jake Taylor, really, kind of battling and running forward with the ball and stuff. So that was really good to see.
Yeah, he was unremarkable, but I don't think he did a huge amount wrong.
No, I mean, if we're honest, the weakness was at the back. The 2 centre-backs looked very shaky.
Yeah.
And Sweeney was making mad passes.
We looked rusty, and there was some wayward passes from Archie Collins too, wasn't there? But,
there was.
I mean,
first game of the season, ticked off, 3 points. In that sense, that's a positive, isn't it?
Yeah. Josie.
Well, yeah, Josie.
He didn't get any. I mean, it's hard to judge him. He didn't get any service, did he?
He had 1 or 2 first half chances. Him and Bowman played a couple of 1-2s, and he had that shot.
Yeah, and I thought that looked like that kind of interplay between those two. I think based on that, it's hard to come up with many conclusions. But the thing you worry about is the fact that maybe we looked better in the second half system after the change, and how does he fit? How would he fit into that system if that's something that we're going to go to default to? But
maybe we don't need to worry about that. Maybe it's okay to not have a best 11 and to have a variety of these are some options because on another day. I mean, Josie and Bowman against Swansea in that friendly, which by the way, listeners, we did lose. We know that we lost. We simply glossed over it in our pre-season preview.
Yeah, but, sorry for trying to put a positive spin on things.
But in that game, there was 15 minutes of Josie and Bowman looking really good together when they had a bit more space.
Yes.
Now, Macclesfield had obviously decided they weren't going to let us have any space at all. So, maybe this is a new thing for Exeter City, that actually we've got a variety of options of ways to play rather than just we've got one way that works and everything else is a kind of plan B.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be nice. Yeah, and I think maybe if you look at the kind of fullback situations, which do look a bit,
shonky.
Well, yeah, and whatever. I thought Moxie actually defensively, it was sound, and he made that sort of last ditch tackle that that's goal saving kind of tackle, wouldn't it? But we got Jack Sparks.
Yeah.
And I thought when he came on in that kind of left wing back or left-sided role, he got forward loads. So maybe there are going to be situations where we can get down the wings more, and let's say, and maybe Jack Sparks can do that job with Moxie moving back into the middle as maybe a 3. There are options, aren't there?
There are, yeah.
Perhaps if someone comes in to give Sweeney a bit of a competition, or just to have a different option, whoever that might be, if anyone, then
Yeah. Gary Warren came on at the end.
Yeah. I was surprised he didn't pick up man of the match, actually, because I thought, he is brilliant.
Let's just say this, though. I don't imagine Aaron Martin is first choice centre-back. So maybe when we see Tom Parks with Gary Warren, if that's what it's supposed to be.
That's odd, though, isn't it, that?
What?
Would that not be odd for Warren to be above Aaron Martin in the kind of...
Well, wasn't he a bit
didn't
order? We decide that Warren was injured?
Yeah, well, I think he was, but I still think it's Gary Warren 36.
Yeah, got a lot of experience.
And
well, we'll see.
yeah, but yeah, how old's Aaron Martin? He must be I don't know, a lot younger than that, isn't he?
Yeah.
I like that Gary Warren had his shirt tucked in.
You like that?
Yeah, he's the only one.
Well, good luck to him.
Just saying.
Maybe the shirt's not long enough, or
it could be that. Yeah, it wasn't tucked in at all. It was just very short.
He is a tall man. So that was Exeter City's first game of the season, 1-0 at home to Macclesfield.
First half, I think we all know, myself included, we could have been a lot better. They seemed to dominate in large parts of the first half, in most areas of the pitch, to be honest.
So next Saturday, first away game of the season, away to Stevenage at the Lame Stadium. Oh, sorry, the Lamex Stadium.
No, Lame X.
Oh, Lame X.
Yeah.
I had a Lame X once. Which is no one's favourite trip. But there it is, first away game of the season. At least it'll be sunny or, not cold. City go there. Stevenage lost their first game, of course, away to everyone's new least favourite team, Salford City.
Yeah, if you are going to, if you are making the trip up to Stevenage on Saturday, make sure you check out the lovely bit of wasteland they've got just across the road from the Lamex Stadium. It is, it's like, I'm not sure it's actually got area of outstanding natural beauty status, but
pending.
If it hasn't, then presumably it's on the way. So
if it hasn't, it must just be like one out of that league table.
Yeah, make sure you check that out. Well worth it. Well worth the visit.
Well, Stevenage, got new sponsors, which they must be very proud about.
Have they?
Burger King.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
I mean, that's Burger King. Plenty of jokes there, which we're above, of course, but there we are.
I mean, that must be like some serious cash, isn't it? Oh, Burger King, big old business.
I mean, it is a big old business, but, Burger King.
I know. I wouldn't want it.
I wouldn't want it.
We've got that weird purple Flyby thing, haven't we, now? Now, I've got a couple of theories on this.
Let's hear them.
One is, on last season's home shirt, the Flyby sponsor was like individually sort of ironed on, I don't know how they do it, printed on letters.
Yeah.
And if you notice, even quite early on in the season, but as the season progressed, fans and players alike are losing a letter here and there, coming off in the wash.
Yeah.
Just peeling off, kids peeling them off, whatever, like you do. And then it just sort of says like, or like...
Flib.
Yeah, like words that aren't... So it's either they're trying to sort of put paid to that and make, if this comes off, it's coming off in one go.
Yeah.
Or Flyby collapse is imminent, and so you can just rip that purple thing straight off in one go, and underneath is Thrifty or whatever.
Creeley.
Yeah, whoever's waiting in the wings to sponsor us.
Boom, boom, waiting in the wings.
Waiting in the wings. Who's waiting in the wings? Kane Wilson, hopefully.
Well, maybe. Those are interesting theories. I haven't got a better one. I thought it looked quite good, actually. When I saw it close up, I was like, I don't know. But then on the pitch, I thought, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, it reminds me a bit of the Jewson's sponsor.
That's exactly what it looks like, yeah.
But
a golden era.
I think it looks cheaper than the last version. And you got to ask yourself, why is that? It looks like kind of cheap, I think.
Yeah, well, that's a fair comment. Well...
Because obviously
Stevenage.
It's not coming out. Sorry, yeah. Let's go back to Stevenage.
No, it's fine.
We'll do a separate podcast on,
shirt sponsors.
Yeah, and just Flyby in general. Flyby sort of like.
And listeners, you'll all remember, of course, when Carling used to sponsor us, and the black label, the literal black label of Carling was like razor sharp, and you'd lose a bit of flesh off the forearm.
Oh, solid, wasn't it?
It really was.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's Flyby, but Stevenage have a burger on their shirt within which is written Burger King. They lost their first game, 2-0 to Salford City. They got the same manager, that guy Mamria. Do you know anything about Mamria? I'll tell you about him. Born in Tunisia.
Is it a type of gland?
Born in Tunisia, Dan.
Oh, sorry.
Fine.
No, is that not now racist?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, cool.
Born in Tunisia, grew up in a tent. Didn't grow up in a tent, but, lived in a tent.
That is racist.
Real, rural Tunisia.
Okay.
Had 2 goats, right? This is all true.
This is problematic, this conversation.
It's not.
Okay.
Because this is why it's amusing.
Go on, yeah.
2 goats. One was called Gary, named after Gary Lineker.
Or was it?
Yes.
Or was he a big fan of your man Gary Warren.
Maybe. I believe it was Lineker, though. So that's Manria.
Wow.
I know. That's good, isn't it?
Yeah, so
Lineker was a global superstar,
what was the other one called?
I don't know. Gaza, I suppose.
Yeah.
Or, Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, or named after a famous Tunisian player.
Yeah, all of them. So Stevenage are in a bit of up and down. You might recall that last year their best player was that fella Elias Chair.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Well, he's gone back.
He's gone, has he?
He was back. He was on loan anyway, so he's gone back to QPR.
Right.
Gone back
to DFS.
Gone around the table. I don't know. There's loads of jokes. Elias Chair's gone, so the fans are like, ugh. I mean, I think they're pretty depressed in the same way that Macclesfield were, which reminds me again of what good business City have done. Lots of people brought in, significant experience amongst them all, brought in with plenty of time.
Yeah.
So it kind of reflects well on us. The kind of big name they've got is this. Do you remember this player, Tom Sawes? Remember him? He went to Stoke for like £1 million back in the day.
Oh, yeah, rings a bell.
He'd been around everywhere, He played a long time at Bury, Sheffield Wednesday, Hibs. He was worth £1 million back in the day. Now he's about 50, so,
They've got him, have they?
They've got him, but no one else really sticks out, and they haven't brought in any loans yet, whereas the impression I get is they're a kind of team that can do quite well off the loans.
Yeah.
If you're unaware, listeners, of course, the Premier League deadline for transfers is this Thursday, which is the 8th or something of August.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in Leagues 1 and 2, we've still got till the 2nd of September to get transfers and loans.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was on the same day.
I thought the same, so I looked it up.
I can't see any more.
At City?
No, I mean, maybe, possibly a couple of loans, but I can't see any more permanent signings. I think we were all organised, and I can't. I mean, what else are we going to bring in?
The only thing I think we'll see is, I think you've called it, and attentive listeners will have noticed that in the squad numbers, we're missing a number 20 player.
Yep.
Which, of course, was the number last year of?
Your man, Kane Wilson.
So we might well see him. Apparently West Brom supporters are saying they haven't seen much of him.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I think that would be the obvious loan.
Absolutely, yeah.
Apart from that, I don't know who else we'd bring in.
Kyle Edwards scored for West Brom.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah.
At the weekend.
Pleased for him.
Yeah, I thought he was a good player when we had him. That was the season before last, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Kane Wilson, maybe. Apart from that, I don't know. The other thing that the squad numbers revealed for us is that Jonathan Fort's not in them. And did you see the club said something about more news on this later?
Yeah, I think we're kind of still waiting for an official announcement. So who knows why that is? And I suppose you just,
I mean, we can't afford to just have people on the books, can we? But maybe the deal is that he can stay part of the setup and he gets paid to play.
I guess we'll find out. But I mean, Jose's got his number now, hasn't he? So he's number 14.
Yeah. So that's that. And so Stevenage will see. I mean, again, at this point in the season, it's quite hard to call things, isn't it? There's no form yet.
No. I kind of get the impression that Salford is going to win every single game.
The bookies don't think so.
Really?
The bookies don't think they'll get promoted.
Again, this is based on nothing other than the fact that I know they've got loads of money.
They've got loads of money. I mean, I think they'll struggle against, dare I say it, I think Argyle are kind of favourites to kind of walk the thing, aren't they? Just because of the size of the club.
You'll notice that Plymouth Argyle lost 3-0 at the weekend on the first day of the season. And they're also going to lose 3-0 this coming weekend.
If only. They sit top, of course. But Salford, I don't know. Well, I mean, again, who knows? But they're one of those teams that buy a whole new bunch of players every year, don't they?
Yeah. Well, they got that lion head as their thing, haven't they?
I hate it.
Should be a slug's head.
What's the slug's head? Surely the whole of the slug is the head.
No, it's just the top, just the very top bit where his face and eyes are.
Well, no. I mean, no. Because the slug's like a whole neck, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, that's just his body. It hasn't got any. Just because he hasn't got any arms and legs to sort of break it up into sections. Exactly,
it hasn't got any. So you can't say the slug's
head. It's not all just a head.
Just have a slug as your badge, Salford.
Just have the head. Why not? It's got little. It's got a very distinctive head. It's got the.
I don't think people would know.
What are they called? Those
antennas.
Yeah, I think that's pushing it a bit. Whatever they are, those stalks.
Eye stalks.
See, the little stalks. I don't know if they've got eyes on them or they're just for feeling.
The slugs have eyes, listeners.
And then they got a mouth.
Slugs have got mouths. No, they just absorb it in their slime, don't they?
No, I think they've got a mouth. Little mouth. They're sort of munching on leaves.
No, they kind of absorb them through their slimy bodies, don't they?
Do they?
I've got no idea.
How come they've got like these like sort of bite marks in your, kale and on your allotment? I haven't got an allotment. Sorry.
No, and if you did, you wouldn't be growing kale.
Yes, I would.
Would you?
Yeah, big time. It's really easy to grow. Very nutritious.
Such a millennial.
Ask Ryan Bowman. Oh no, he won't be eating any of that. He'll be eating McDonald's.
You can't eat Burger King anymore. No one in League Two can now eat Burger King because of Stevenage.
Did you see that thing? Ask Bowman?
Yes, I did see Ask Bowman. I especially enjoyed his slating of Matt J's dress sense. See that?
Yeah, although, based on his other answers, having not seen what Matt J looks like, based on Bowman's other, or should I call him Basic Bowman? Based on Basic Bowman's other answers, I'd say probably I'm going to go out and reckon that Matt J dress sense is probably far better.
Wow.
Bowman's not going to get it. That's what the problem is. He likes McDonald's, and what else did he say he liked? Lewis Capaldi.
An old school R&B. I don't think he means Elvis.
No.
Jerry Lee Lewis. Well, anyway, whatever.
Horrific
think,
choices.
By the way, Ryan, we look forward to your interview with us here on the Big Bang Theory podcast. But
oh, come on.
We'll talk about it.
Mate.
We'll talk about it.
We'll introduce you to some real,
But in conclusion, listeners, slugs do not have heads. They're all one body.
No, that's a dreadful take. They absolutely do have heads.
Tweet us at Big Bang Pod. BigBankPod@gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook, the Big Bang Theory Podcast.
Maybe you're a Salford City fan.
You'd like to defend slugs.
Your mascot presumably is a slug. Does he have a head?
I believe it's 5 slugs from the class of 92.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
So that's Salford, but Stevenage, we'll see. I mean, I don't think we can take anything as fact yet. And there's got to be a better performance from City.
Yeah, but do you sort of feel like we've got away with it a bit? Like having not the best performance.
Yeah.
So now we have something to work on, some areas to improve, and having still got the 3 points out of it.
Absolutely. I don't think Taylor will have to... I mean, Bowman's interview was like, we were awful first half. I want to apologise to the fans. I mean, fair play for saying that. But it's easier to say that once you've won and then think amongst the players, we were awful, but in a sense, nothing's lost here. We'll just come back next week better. So, yeah, I think we can take that as a lucky escape or a extra bonus or whatever and move on.
I can't wait. I'm so glad the season's back on. It was brilliant to be back there on Saturday and love that feeling of like the first day of the season, and it's like, and it was, in the end it was like a really disappointing crap game, but we did win it, so it's still
absolutely,
yeah, it's great.
Shout out to the Red Legion, another good display.
Yeah, it looked good, didn't it?
Said something like, correct me if I'm wrong, made for this, made for you, or made for this place.
Is that a Lewis Capaldi lyric?
I believe it's a Cortinas lyric.
Really?
Think so?
The Cortinas. I've only ever heard like sort of 2 of their songs.
There's that one, Not 19 Forever.
Yeah, that one, and then one other one. It's not really... It's okay, Anyway,
that was their banner, but I thought the noise they made was brilliant. Actually, there were points in the game where it really felt like it was rocking.
Yeah, it was good.
Well, good to be back in first season, isn't it, with the ground completed?
Yep, although no one in the away end, obviously, because there's not enough people to bother.
I mean, Macclesfield, at least they didn't bring 18, but I think it was 150 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's at this point that you realise there's a real disparity in League Two, isn't there? You've got Argyle getting whatever they think they'll get, 10,000. Bradford will probably get something similar. Us, totally reasonable, 4,500. And then you'll see some Macclesfield games and they won't get 2,000.
Yeah.
Mad.
On the subject of, that punk band, the Mac Lads, is that because they support Macclesfield? Is that what they're called that?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
Okay. Thought you might know. Anyway, no one listening has heard of them, so presumably, well, you might have done.
Yeah, surely you have. Mac Lads.
Yeah. I reckon they're better than Lewis Capaldi, Ryan. So
yeah,
check
sure
them out.
they are, Ryan.
Everyone's got
Come
Spotify
on.
now.
Lewis Capaldi.
There's no excuse for it.
No, there's no excuse for listening to Lewis Capaldi. Anyway, I got some good news.
Yep.
Exeter City women played final friendly, I think, before the season starts.
How'd they
Did you
get
see
on?
the score?
Nope.
playing Wootton Bassett Town, or the Royal Borough of Wootton Bassett Town. Or
Yeah,
they got
Royal Wootton Bassett. That's what it's
Yeah,
called,
they've got
isn't
some mad name, their football club.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you see the score?
it? That's what the town's called. So, no, it didn't.
14-1 City.
Ooh,
14-1. Absolute
how'd they get
kablamo.
one?
Hey?
How did they get the one?
We don't know. We don't know. Felt sorry for them. 14-1. Fair play.
Yeah, brilliant.
So, I mean, they got lots of new players coming in. We're going to try and get some of those games this season. I didn't make it to Royal Wootton Bassett, mainly because my sat-nav, I couldn't fit the words in. It asked me where I was
It's
going.
a very nice place, actually.
Royal Woo.
You've been there before with me.
It was a wedding, right?
Yeah.
That's true. I don't remember much about it. Anyway, sadly, I wasn't there for 14 Grecian goals, but we'll keep you up to date with the future of that team. New name, new season, new league,
Some new players.
some new players. It's exciting times.
Yeah.
Went for it, seen him off his line, dropped in. Happy as Larry. 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 Happy as Larry.
So coming up is the League Cup, the Football League Cup, the Carabao Cup, whatever the hell you want to call it. City travel to play Coventry City, not in Coventry, but at St Andrews in Birmingham.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
So the last time we played Coventry, of course, was Blimmin' Wembley.
Playoff final, yeah.
Ugh. I mean, they're still taking like 5,000 to those. I mean, I'm doing the inverted commas thing. Home games.
Right. What's happened there then? What's up with the...
It's all to do with Wasp, the rugby
Rico
club.
Arena?
The Rico Arena.
So what's that used for conferences and stuff now, is it?
And Wasp Rugby Union.
But that's not why it was built.
No, it was built for
the
Coventry
football
City.
club.
Yeah, and then I think they got into financial trouble and sold it to the council, and then I think the council sold it to Wasps, and Wasps were supposed to lease it back to rent it to Coventry for playing home games.
Right.
The contract ran out on that, so that's why they had 2 years, and now it's gone again. So I don't know if it's to do with money and not paying rent, or if it's just Wasps being, rugger buggers.
Right.
So they're not...
Perfectly likely.
Yeah, so they're playing 30 miles away in Birmingham, which is ridiculous, especially for a town the size of Coventry.
Imagine if you supported them.
I work with someone who supports Sky Blues, and it just sounds so depressing. Cause was it Burton they played at, or Kidham? No, it was Northampton, wasn't it? So they were playing their home games at Northampton previously. Then they
Right.
went back to the Rico.
At least that's a bit closer than Birmingham.
It's a bit closer, I think, but it's like us having to
blimey.
go up to Taunton every game.
Yeah.
Mental. So that we go to St Andrews anyway. So that's a week Tuesday.
But here's the thing. Do we want to be in the League Cup?
Well, the League
Do you
Cup's all
wanna-
right, isn't it?
I think we do, don't we, at this point?
It's the checker
nice
trade.
to have a little...
It's the checker trade that's annoying for
Oh,
everyone.
I don't want to be in that. I hate
But
it.
we got no choice in that one.
No.
We have to play those 3 games, don't we?
Yeah.
But
Yes, you
Carabao,
can't even, like...
No.
can't
Nothing
even-
good can come of it.
No.
Whereas Carabao, the Premier League teams join quite quickly. It happens quite soon.
Yeah, like we had that West Brom. That was
FA Cup.
Oh, was
We-
it now?
We had Liverpool.
Liverpool, of course, yeah.
Those things are great. I mean, Coventry's a nice away game, or Birmingham rather. So people aren't. I don't think that's a bad thing, but
Yeah, I've not been to... I'm not going to this one either because it's not doable, but I would like to. I would have liked to because it's like one of those grounds of,
yeah, Peaky Blinders
Real-
are there.
real... Oh, are they? Let's talk about that. Terrible.
Yeah, it's a kind of good ground to go to, isn't it? So,
Yeah, I'd like to.
So that's that. Coventry started their season with a 1-0 win against Southend. They still got Mark Robbins, former Manchester United player,
Yeah.
as manager. They lost most of their squad.
Who else is still there? Peter
Well-
Undlove.
No, Steve Grizovic is gone as well.
What?
I know. Cashed in.
Still sponsored by Peugeot.
I don't think they are, sadly. They weren't even wearing a sky blue shirt the last time I saw them. So that's that. We'll
Yeah,
see
so
how
we're talking
goes.
about this because we've got it's we've got a bit of congestion
We're
with
just
not only fixtures but also holidays.
we're just
we're-
such socialites.
me and you are
that-
both jetting off.
yeah, in a
Not
way.
together.
Sadly, not together.
Not
We're going
together.
our separate ways. So we're going to be back with the next podcast after the Swindon home game. So at that match,
Yeah.
we'll talk about Stevenage away, we'll talk about Coventry away, and we'll talk about Swindon at home. So we'll have some good stuff about that. We've got some good stuff to talk about when we see you next, that'll be out week beginning the 19th
Yeah.
of August. I hope you can bear a few weeks without us.
Well, not
take
even
courage.
really, is it? It's only just over a week.
Take courage, everyone. It is just over a week. In the meantime, I suppose you can get on board with this new American website. You've been following this? The Athletic?
No.
So The Athletic is some American startup that
Right.
happened 2-3 years ago in the States. And they don't care about publications. They don't care about being on like social media. It's a subscription-based reading thing, and I think some podcasts, but it's supposed to be like real high-end. So they go and get the best football journalists in the country. So they've nicked like 3 of the best Guardian journalists, some from the Telegraph, some from the Times, some from the BBC, The Athletic. So
I've not even heard of this. Sounds sort of like the Blizzard or something, is it? But
that is that kind of thing,
Right.
but real like all guns
a bit more
blazing.
full time.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's all... So you go on it, right? So I had a look today. It launched today. Today's Monday, if you're listening, in the week. And it says, select your football club. Select your football club, Dan.
Exeter City.
Is
please.
not on the list.
Hey, really?
It's Premier League and Championship only. And you think, like, this is the problem. This is the problem with everything, right? That you watch teams like Bury and Bolton, who are... I mean, they've been run terribly, but there's just no appetite for people to get stuck into their local thing, or it's completely discouraged by the media. So,
Yeah.
You
I'm
know.
not quite sure where I take what you're saying, but part of me thinks it's like, good, I don't want to, like, leave us alone. You know?
well, I agree.
I quite like it getting, you get to keep your cool, old-fashioned ground that's in the middle of town. You know, I don't know.
I want to be left alone. You're absolutely right. But I also think that this just funneling of kids to support either Liverpool or Manchester United, Tottenham, Arsenal,
Yeah.
Manchester City, like that's it.
But hopefully the reality is that even if you do support one of those teams, and I'm sure most of the kids that come to watch Exeter have got a Premier League team they support too, but they're not going to go there week in, week out. And if you like football enough, you know that it's enough of it's a different experience to go to a game and to watch a game on TV. And along with the thing of they still stuck with, thank goodness, so far of not showing 3:00 kickoffs on TV. So at least you can hope that kids growing up in a city with a small club like ours will still be able to do both, you know, and still be able to engage with that as a different thing, because it is so different, isn't it? You know,
Absolutely, I hear what you're saying. I just, I guess we'll watch and see what happens with stupid things like European Super League and this kind of talk.
Yeah.
Because I think that could really put a dampener on everything. Anyway, I'd be interested to see what you think, listeners, when you have a look at this thing, The Athletic.
well, I'm gonna have a look at it.
Have a look at it, see what you think. I mean, it's kind of potluck which team you choose, I think.
Yeah, exactly. What club am I going to select?
I don't know.
I used to quite like Blackburn when I was a kid. Are they on there?
They're in the Championship, so I guess so. Are they in the Championship?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Sorry, Harris.
Are they? Yeah. No.
I think they are.
I forget now. They were teetering, weren't they? Anyway, you can have a look at that stuff, see what you think. But don't worry, listeners, our low-grade podcast will remain subscription-free and widely available and, in your podcast inbox.
I mean, at the moment,
When we're not on holiday.
For now, it's going to stay free. I don't want to make any promises because you never know. Like if this thing keeps growing the way it has done. We have that Patreon kind of like thing, and we have like sort of like some extras you can sign up for. Like you pay a certain amount, we'll go round to a listener's house, and we'll just do this live exclusively for you in your living room while you sit there and watch.
You can't get involved with it. Don't talk to us.
No, don't you dare. Don't. That's not on offer. That's another one. That's a different option. A chat.
That's more.
A chat with me and you. That's going to be all this stuff behind the paywall. Which doesn't. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I just don't want to rule it out. You know?
Well, if you've got an opinion on whether a slug can have a head or not, you have to pay to voice those opinions. That's what Dan's saying.
Yeah. Well, potentially. Yeah. Potentially. Right now, if you happen to know who we are and see one of us and want to have a chat about whether or not a slug has got a head, it has, But if you want to kind of like debate that, then go for it. But in the future, all I'm saying is maybe those sort of questions might incur a financial penalty.
Okay, well, that's what an excellent note to end on.
No, I've got one more thing to say, which is about... So now on Exeter City's Twitter, when we score or something happens, is new set of GIFs.
Oh, yeah.
Or GIFs, or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
I think the jury's out on that.
Yeah.
And it's like, last year it was these really cool animations. This season, it's just like a little photo GIF thing. Yeah, and it's like of whoever the player it's about. So Bowman's one is him inexplicably blowing some bubbles. I don't know what that's about. He's blowing some bubbles. Like, you know, like the kids.
Bubbles Bowman.
Bubbles, like, yeah.
Interesting.
I'd have one of him sort of doing like an elbow, you know?
I'd like to see him pretend break the glass of the camera with his elbow.
Yeah.
Okay, well...
But the point I wanted to make was, did you see Lewis... I guess you haven't seen it, but...
No.
Worth checking out Lewis Ward's. He's got his own GIF.
Okay.
I guess, which gets kind of...
Or for clean sheets or
for
something.
A clean sheet or something, or when he does well. And it's so weird. You know, it's a bit like they sort of like do an action. Right, you know, you like when they have the Premier League players walking towards the camera.
Yeah.
But this one, he's like... And his is like... It looks like... I guess the idea is him sort of pretending to sort of like punch a ball away or something.
Okay.
Like a keeper would do. Like,
right.
But it looks like sort of Dad's first go on the Nintendo Wii. Like, do you know what I mean? Like sort of like a weird sort of hand. You have to see it. It's like a weird sort of swipe.
Listeners, for the benefit of our listeners, Dan's currently acting this out for me.
Yeah, it doesn't look like... I guess it's supposed to look like him palming a ball away. Like, you know...
But he hasn't got a ball.
There's no ball, and it looks like... I don't know.
Lewis, you've been stitched up there.
Anyway, I liked it, and no one was saying anything about it. And I thought, is this weird? Am I the weird one for thinking this is odd?
Okay. Well, look out for it, listeners.
Yeah.
That is a perfect note to end on.
Yep.
My name's John.
And for now, that's free.
My name's John. I've been here with my friend and colleague, Dan.
Cheers.
See you next time.